Hello, and welcome to Provider Connection Training Part 2. This authorization training is specific to authorizations, entering authorizations, and just reviewing existing authorizations. To pick off where we left off from in the first Provider Connection training, we are in the member management portal of the menu. We will select an authorization role type. We will also enter our provider panel. Again, your panel will be different than the one shown because this is my panel. I had to enter a provider number in order to proceed. Then I will enter the contract number, member name, social and date of birth, or authorization number. Once I select search, it will bring up a list of members or a member if there is only one option. You will select that to proceed. Once you are in entering an authorization request, you will see that you have the option to return to the previous screen, to print a temporary ID card, or to do a new search, or to request an authorization for the member you have selected. For this example, we are going to click the green plus request an authorization option. This will take you to the member management for adding authorization for the member, and it will list the referring provider. The details are pretty straightforward in what the information is, but let's proceed to the next screen to see what options we need to complete. We will start by entering a service category. This will be the option or service that you are wanting to get authorized for your member. There is a priority option for routine requests. We have 7 business days. Our medical staff will reach out to the member within 24 hours if the member is on a Medicare Advantage plan. All urgent requests will be processed within 72 hours. Sometimes you can get an urgent request processed in the same day. However, we do have 72 hours for urgent requests and 7 days for routine requests. You will enter a quantity limit for which you want to proceed for. In this case, because I was entering an authorization for DME, I put a quantity of 10. It automatically populates the dates based on the date you enter the request. If that does need to be altered, you can enter that information. However, we do not do retro authorization unless certain criteria is met. All providers' offices were sent faxes regarding retro authorization and what was needed to meet that criteria. Please refer to that memo. You will next select the place of service. In this case, it was for durable medical equipment, so we selected the home option. However, you could enter an office setting location, you could enter an outpatient service type of location. Whatever is the need for what you are requesting, you will select that there. You will then list the servicing provider that will be performing the service for the service you are requesting in the next option. If you don't know their provider number, the search option in green between the provider number and servicing provider name, you can search for your provider in an advanced search option. Once you have selected your provider, it will come back to the screen. You will enter the primary diagnosis of the service that you are looking for, or diagnosis that you are looking for, and the CPT code for which you are also requesting. You will also have to enter remarks in the remark section for the authorization to be accepted. You have the option to attach files in the box below. If you select that option, on the next screen, I will show you where it will take you once you have clicked submit. The last and final option that I do have to cover is that you must review all 5 questions in the box to the below the Attach Files button, and then there are yes, no buttons to the right-hand side. You must select yes or no to continue. Once you have selected all of those options, please click Submit. Once you have clicked Submit, you will see that you come to the Attach New Files if you selected that option. This is what that looks like. You will choose the file from your computer that you wish to upload into the system, and once completed, you will click Close. That will then submit the entire request with your attachments for review. Once you have selected Submit and attached any documents that you needed to attach, your screen will refresh to the screen below. It is the processed authorization. The data on the screen that you see is very small, and I do apologize. There was not a way to make that bigger. However, you will see 5 green options, and those are Edit, Print, Delete, Attach, and Route. The Edit button can edit the data that you entered. The Print option can show you a printed version of the data that you entered. Until the file is uploaded to our system, you have the right to delete it. You can also attach documents if you failed to attach them in the beginning. And then the route option is there, but will remove once the file has uploaded into our system. The additional lines that you will see is the authorization number, which is assigned immediately upon entry, the status, which is usually going to be pending. It will show you the pinned reason. In this instance, it is needs nurse review. The priority which you entered, which was routine in this instance. It will show you a to and from date of the authorization requested, as well as all of the other information that you entered in the screen previously. Durable medical equipment with a diagnosis code and description, the preferring provider that we referred them to with the provider's name, our group practice number, as well as the equipment that was requested. Now we're going to move to part 2 of the authorization training, which is really for those employees who have read access only and can't enter authorizations, but need to search authorizations. They will begin in the member management option. You will select a role type of authorization role. There is a provider panel that you must select. Your provider panel will look different than my provider panel. You will go down to the search by option and select your search criteria. Then enter your search information under search for and click on search. That will populate a member or members below that field, and you will select the member that you are trying to review authorizations for. You are now in the member management field. For the member that you selected, you will have your member name and your member details at the top of the screen. You will select the tab that says Processed Authorizations. You are now in the member management of the authorizations that have been processed screen. You will see all the member management details of that member in the upper portion of the screen. I have split the very long line down into 2 small sections in order to enlarge the data. There are 4 green options that are there. It is print, notes, attach, and route. Of those 4 options, the one that will be most useful to you is going to be the print option. And the print option we will go over at the very end. You will see that there is an authorization number that will be listed. The status of that authorization, the 2 we are looking at, is approved. It gives you the beginning date of the authorization as well as the end date of the authorization. The service that is requested, both a small description and a long description. The remarks indicate what has been done. In this case, the first one was approved per nurse, and it was a continuous airway positive pressure device. The second one was an approved, AP standing for approved, computed tomography CT scan of the abdomen and pelvis with contrast material. The second line was a little bit harder to make large, but it does list the PCP. It shows the requesting provider's information as well as the servicing provider, and then gives the diagnosis code as well as the full description, the location of the service, and the begin and end dates, as well as the quantities listed, servicing description again, and diagnosis and long description. All of that information is just a quick glance. However, as I said, if you use the print option, it is available and it will actually open a letter that you can save for your records or hand to a member should they request a copy from your office. One moment and we will get to that letter so that you can see it. And here is a copy of the letter. You will see that there are portions that are whited out. It will list an authorization number. It will give you the status of that authorization as well as listing out the PCP. The member's information, name, ID number is there, as well as date of birth, their group number, and the business unit or program information that is from our system. It will show you the requesting provider's information, including name and address, as well as the servicing provider's information, also name and address. It will give you the quantities, the service dates, the servicing location, diagnosis, initial date of service, and any remarks that are there for you to see. Again, under the requested, it will give you the requesting provider's information again, name and address, servicing provider's information, name and address. In the remarks at the very bottom of the screen, you can see what is listed as that information, and I have again removed the requesting and servicing provider information. I want to thank you for attending this training session on authorizations. Again, if you have any questions or topics that you would like to see additional training on, please email trainingdepartment@ccok.com. They will get the information to us and we will get this training for you. If you have any questions that can be answered by phone, please reach out to Provider Connection at 918-594-5207 or at 877-321-0018. And again, thank you and have a great day.